These two beautiful silver bullion coins are identical. They will fetch the same price when I come to sell them. But while one merchant is charging £47, the UK's so-called number one online bullion dealer is charging £71. What a rip-off. It's outrageous. Please don't get ripped off. Watch this video and I'll show you where to get the best prices from trusted sellers, and you could even find some bargains. Hello everyone and welcome to Sound Money Stacking. So you've decided to buy some silver or gold bullion. See my previous video about how to get started. If you've already bought some bullion and you're looking to buy more, but you rightly want the best prices available, then this is the video for you. I will take you through each of the places where you can buy silver and gold in the UK and compare prices as they stand today. I will give you advice on how to determine which sellers of silver on the secondary market can be trusted and what you can do to protect yourself. First, let's start with a recap of the previous video. There I talked about what are the most trusted coins when starting your stacking journey, how to avoid capital gains tax when selling your silver and gold, and who are the best big bullion dealers in the UK. For this video, I'm going to focus on independent dealers and the secondary market. This is where you get the most bullion for your flimsy fiat cash. The secondary market means pre-owned silver bullion coins, bars and collectible art pieces. Pre-owned silver bullion is not subject to VAT sales tax when sold peer-to-peer, and commercial bullion dealers only pay VAT on any capital gains tax they've had from trading it. This is called the special scheme. So let's get started. Links to all the platforms and dealers I cover are in the video description. Please note that I have no affiliation or sponsorship with any dealers. I discuss my own personal experience and my own recommendations to help you save money. Watch to the end of the video for a price comparison of the best deals that I found this week. It's very telling. This video is broken up into chapters so you can skip or easily replay a chapter. I do recommend saving this video so you can watch it later and when you're ready to try buying some silver from these marketplaces. And do share it with friends and family who you think are buying gold and silver. I think this is a really important video. In the first section, I cover three popular peer-to-peer sales platforms that include reviews of sellers. These are platforms that operate in the UK. I'm focused on the UK market in this video. It is important that you look at these reviews of sellers. If the silver price is increasing quickly, there will be a fear of missing out or FOMO activity, and it will attract some bad actors into the space, and they might try and come and sell some fake silver or might not even sell you anything at all, which has happened to me. My focus is on the UK market, but each platform sells in other countries too, and the three I'm going to focus on are Stackers Social, the Silver Forum and eBay. First up is Stackers Social. I put this first because the platform is completely free. You will find the lowest prices here, and you can find seller reviews. Even better, Stackers Social is a rapidly growing community of stackers just like you. You'll find a lot of knowledge, great tips, and you'll make great friends there if you feel like being social. Stackers Social is based on the Discord platform. You might not have used it before, but it is actually quite straightforward. You can use it on a web page on your computer, like a normal web page, or you can download the Discord app on your desktop or on your mobile device. An invite link to Stackers Social is in the description to this video, or you can pause the video right now and scan the QR code on the screen. I will just focus on the sales part of this platform in this video. I'm using the web version on desktop here, but the layout is very similar on mobile. There are different channels on the left. Scroll down to the marketplace and then the buy, sell, swap channel. And here you can see a list of items that people are offering to sell or swap. You can look at the photos of the items and ask any questions in that post. The photos should look genuine from the seller and not look like professional stock photos that somebody's just downloaded from a dealer's website. And the photos should have a note in them, a handwritten note with the name of the seller and the date on them. And this is a tactic to prove that the person selling actually owns what they're selling. Anyone can download photos of an item off the internet and try to sell something that they don't have. Ask for better photos or more details if you want them. For example, ask to look at the side of coins or the thickness or the reverse sides of bars. Don't be shy, you're the buyer. If you want to buy and you've decided you really like the price, then please firstly check to see if the seller has got good feedback. To do this, look at the channel on the left that says Seller's Feedback and search for the seller's name. If a seller's not listed there, they may be a trustworthy person, but they may be new to selling. If you don't know this person already from Stacker Social, then maybe buy something else from another seller. Or you could comment on that sales post and say you would like some vouchers. A voucher is when another senior community member comes forward and can vouch for that person and say, look, this seller is a good person, they're worth dealing with, you can trust them. This kind of peer-to-peer platform is all about establishing and maintaining trust. Sellers and buyers need to respect one another throughout the process, or they just won't be able to trade in future. Nobody will trust you. If you see the seller has built up a strong reputation, then you can either leave a comment on their sales post to say that you want it, or you can tap on the name of the seller and initiate a private conversation. So add them as a friend and start chatting with them. It's usually first come, first served on these sales. Your comment on the sales post can be seen by everybody, which is really helpful if you want to claim that item before somebody else snags it. But you also may want to protect your own privacy. We're all different. In the private chat, the seller may ask you what postage you want to use, and then the price gets finalized. Usually a seller will ask for a bank transfer or PayPal friends and family payment, because those payments don't have incur any additional charges. They'll provide you with their bank details or the email address for PayPal, depending on which you prefer. You make the payment, then come back and leave the seller a message to say that you've done that. Don't forget to leave your name and address for your delivery. Most sellers will confirm that they've received the money, and they'll provide you with a tracking number for your package if you're using track postage, which really you should as a minimum use track postage and use special delivery if it's got significant value. Whenever you buy any bullion, be sure to record the opening of the package. This is a really good habit to get into. Take a photo of the address label before you start. Then I usually pop my phone in a stand and just video the opening of the package. If there's any damage of an item, or the item is just not what you ordered, then you will have proof. Nobody will be able to claim that you've swapped something out. Check that the item is as described, and if you know how, check that the bullion is genuine. I'll have a separate video on how to check that your silver or gold is genuine. That'll come out later on, but you can find some good videos about this on YouTube. There's lots and lots of videos out there. So please get into the habit of recording the opening of your packages when you're buying peer-to-peer. Really important. If everything checks out, you can go obviously delete those photos and videos. You don't need them anymore on your phone. If everything checks out, go back to Stacker Social and leave the seller some feedback in the seller's feedback channel if they've already got a section set up for them. You'll be helping out your fellow stackers and you'll be encouraging good practice. Now, if you're unfortunate and you do have some issues, which are usually to do with postage or packaging, then message the seller first, message them directly, let them know, and give them time to try and fix your problems or suggest something that they can improve for future sales, like improve their packaging. So please don't leave a stinky review until this process has played out. If you want to return an item to the seller, then you'll need to negotiate this with them directly. Depending on the situation, you may be asked to cover the postage when sending it back, and I personally would only expect a refund after the seller has got their items back and has checked them over. Please be courteous in your communications and pay promptly. Build your own reputation as a buyer. Encourage your community. You may get little discounts in the future by being a trusted buyer. In addition to sales posts, Stacker Social also does auctions in the auction room channel. The listings are similar, but there will be a fixed time noted in the listing when the auctions come to an end. The starting price is the reserve. The highest bid wins. If you like the look of a listed item and the seller has got good feedback, just comment on the post with your bid price. Some people like to leave a funny GIF that contains their bid value. To do this, just click on the smiley face icon in the comment box, select GIFs, type the number for your bid and pick a GIF. Make sure that the GIF shows the number in an obvious way so that your bid gets recognised. Don't be too clever. If you win the bid, then the purchase is made just as I've described for sales posts. You do a direct message with the seller. It's super easy and really fun. Just make sure you don't get swept up and bid too much for a popular item. There will always be something else that you want in the coming days, so take your stacking easy. So that's the process. Stay to the end of the video where I highlight what deals I've found on Stacker Social this week, and I compare these deals to the other marketplaces and dealers in the UK. The results are striking. Next up is the Silver Forum. This has been running since 2014, which is a lot longer than Stacker Social, and it's got a more established marketplace. Silver, gold and non-precious metals and other items are sold on this platform. The platform is a web-based browser and it's free to use. I put it second simply because you do need to be a paid member to see all of the deals on offer as they're released. The default for free users is that new listings are hidden for the first 3 days. Only premium members are able to see new sales and auctions, most of which are sold within 3 days. I do recommend subscribing to the Silver Forum if you're stacking more than 2 or 3 ounces of silver or 1 gram of gold a month. You will save more than your subscription fee if you typically buy more than this. Memberships start at £9 per month plus VAT, and the reason for the cost is to pay for the server and the people running and looking after the server. To find the sales listings, select buy and sell from the top menu bar and select your region. For UK stackers, I would suggest that you select ungraded to find the best value bullion. Once you see the listings, you can sort them. I tend to sort by the start date so I can keep an eye on the newest deals. I check this several times a day when I'm in the market to buy. You will get very cheap deals and these will sell out in minutes. Silver Forum buyers really know their prices. They recognise good value very quickly. An advantage to checking the Silver Forum regularly is you do get a feel for what the going rate is for different sizes of silver and gold, both for standard bullion, for example like a Royal Mint 1 ounce Silver Britannia, or premium bullion, for example the popular Perth Mint 1 ounce Silver Dragon bars. You do become your own expert and realise that biding your time and sniping a good deal is the best way to build your stack. You will find auctions for popular items on the listings page. These are good fun. but my experience is that most items reach their full market value as there are so many bidders in the end. It's still worth keeping an eye on these auctions just in case there is a bargain to be had. The buying and bidding process for listings is pretty much the same as what I described for Stacker Social. Firstly, scrutinise the photos, check for a note with the seller's name and date on as proof of ownership. Then check the seller's feedback in the green box on the left. What you're looking for is a high rating, ideally 100%, and plenty of reviews, many tens, maybe hundreds of reviews. Tap on the green box and read through these reviews. Focus on reviews that relate to selling, focus on the most recent ones. If this all checks out, then you can comment on the listing saying that you want the item or you want more information for etc. Then you move to private messaging on the forum with the seller to exchange details about postage preference, the final price, payment details and your postal address, just as before. You pay them directly, again usually by bank transfer or by PayPal friends and family. They confirm receipt of funds and typically send you the tracking number for your shipment. Again, record the opening of your package, check it carefully and leave feedback for the seller when everything is to your satisfaction. Unlike Stacker Social, the seller can also leave you feedback as a buyer, and most sellers will do this, and I recommend you ask them to do it if they haven't done it automatically. That way you can build your reputation on the Silver Forum before you decide to sell in the future. If you've got any issues with your purchase, contact the seller directly and give them time to resolve your issue before leaving a review. The Silver Forum, as the name suggests, also has active discussion forums about most things silver and gold. It's interesting to compare these discussions to those found on Stacker Social. Depending on your interests and personality, you can find kindred spirits, information and guidance in either of these two platforms. The last marketplace I'll cover in any detail is eBay, which needs no introduction. You have buy it now listings and you have auctions. My experience is that building a stack from eBay auctions is very time consuming, as you watch these auctions and you get outbid and you bid again. eBay is best for finding silver and gold pieces that you're collecting and you've got specific items in mind that you're trying to add to your stack. It's now free to sell on eBay for private individuals, which has reduced the cost to you as the buyer. However, I do find eBay prices are higher than on Stacker Social or the Silver Forum, and I'll show examples of that at the end of the video. An excellent facility of eBay is the searches. Search for what you're looking for, filter by UK, sort by price, and then you can tap the love heart on the search bar and save this search. You can then keep your eye on the market for new listings that come up that might be priced just right for you, and you're able to snag the thing you've been looking for a while. Another well-established feature of eBay is the feedback ratings. You are looking for very high percentage feedback and a high score indicating plenty of experience of buying and selling on the platform. 2 words of caution though. Firstly, check to see that the seller's other listings include other bullion items. Does the seller routinely sell bullion? Because bullion dealers know how to spot a fake and shouldn't sell them on. A novice might not know what they've got. They've done a quick web search and they've just listed it, and you might find it's a cheap price but it's not actually real. Secondly, look at all of the reviews and sort them by the most recent. Is this a real seller? I say this because I was tricked recently. I didn't do this last step. I bought silver from an account with good reviews and they had many silver bullion items listed. I did my due diligence. The problem is they didn't ship the item and they didn't reply to any messages, and I believe that this was a stolen account. In retrospect, I realised that the most recent review was over a year old, and that's the tell here. eBay does have buyer protection though, so after a short wait to see if the seller would actually reply or send the item, of course they didn't, I was refunded in full. Overall, I'm happy to buy on eBay, but you do have to check everything carefully to avoid frustration. There are some too good to be true listings, like 1 ounce 3/9 fine silver coins for a fraction of the spot price, some of them for less than £10. These are fake coins and they're silver plated. Sometimes they say it's a commemorative coin, but many of the listings don't indicate at all that it's not real. If it looks too good to be true, then I'm afraid it is. I've bought some amazing pieces on eBay, I've got some really good deals on there, and I do continue to use it. I like the platform a lot. So in the next section, I'm going to cover independent bullion dealers. There are many independent bullion dealers in the UK that have an eye for a deal and can often deliver the best prices to their customers. These dealers tend to have irregular stocks depending on what they can pick up at the time. They tend to be stackers too, so they've got the same intent as you, they've just got much bigger budgets. I will highlight 4 of these that I've used several times and I'm very happy to recommend. Cobrastacker is a bullion stacker and collector turned dealer. He runs a weekly auction on YouTube every Friday at 7:30 PM. Now you do need to be a member of the channel, which costs £3 a month, in order to have an account and to be able to purchase in the auctions. Cobra offers an array of silver bullion, collectibles and fractional gold at competitive prices. Most items are listed as buy it now, and more collectible items are listed as an auction. Tune in at the start of the auction for information as to how it all works. Cobra does tend to stock the items that most stackers and collectors are looking for, so there's usually something that fits your goals each week. Cobra is a highly respected and trusted member of the UK stacking community. The live auctions are very friendly and fun to be part of. What I like is that there are no pressure tactics to buy. He tends to stop auctions to prevent fear of missing out from overpricing an auction. A big advantage of being a regular customer with Cobra is that you can cut down on your postage costs. So Cobra only posts things out to you by special delivery to ensure the lowest risk of transit and full insurance. But of course this is the highest price service the Royal Mail offers. Now to mitigate this, you can box your purchases from week to week until you feel you've built up enough items worth posting. This way you can reduce the premium per ounce of silver or gold that comes from the postage. And this is very important. Buying a single coin here and there and paying £3 a time for postage, you're adding £3 onto every ounce of silver you buy, for example. So this is a great way of reducing your overall cost. Affordable Bullion is a fairly new website that's grown out from a Facebook seller of the same name. This dealer tends to have excellent prices. Now you do need to check the stock regularly. Items like low price Britannias will sell out very quickly and you can get some great deals here, but it's very patchy and somewhat random as to what's available. Dancu is another website with items listed from an independent dealer. Again, you can find great deals here, but check back regularly. Again, items do sell out very fast, and it's very common to see no stock on the website when demand for silver in particular is very high. Finally, SilverTrader is a sole trader website that specialises in premium imported silver bullion. SilverTrader is one of the 2 approved dealers for the Germania Mint in the UK. Martin brings in some really cool silver coins and rounds, and his prices are reasonable. You won't find the very cheapest price per ounce of silver here, but you will find good prices for premium silver if you graduate from stacking ounces to collecting beautiful pieces. Well, that's my coverage of marketplaces and dealers in the secondary market. There are two other marketplaces that I've not covered because I just don't use them. The first is Facebook. If you're a regular Facebook user, then this is an obvious place to look. Other than my background dislike for the platform, a big concern with Facebook is figuring out who to trust. There's no review system to consult as far as I can see. Some sellers offer too good to be true prices. In fact, a lot of sellers do that, like below spot price silver. It looks fake to me. I'm told that Affordable Bullion Group has trustworthy sellers, but I'm reluctant to recommend anything that I haven't used, to be honest. The other major platform, which is mostly North American focused but is now growing rapidly in the UK, is Whatnot. It's an auctions platform. Again, I've not used it. I know that you can get great deals on Whatnot, but I'm concerned that prices are too high at many auctions, as bidders tend to get carried away with the excitement. That's from what I can tell from other people. The platform also charges fees, and the sellers will need to pass this on to you. So what deals did I find on the UK marketplaces and dealer sites this past week? I'm focusing on two entry-level items that are frequently purchased to build a stack. 1 ounce silver bullion coins from either the Royal Mint or other leading government mints, the most trusted coins, and 1 gram gold bars. The prices that I've found are for individual coins and bars only. My focus here is on new stackers with a modest monthly budget. If you have a lump sum to invest, then you can certainly get even better prices per ounce if you buy sets of coins or full tubes of coins for silver, and larger sizes than 1 gram for fractional gold. Remember that postage adds to your purchase price, so there's a balance to be struck between buying deals as you find them and buying in bulk. So do shop around and become your own expert in the marketplace. In order of the marketplaces and dealers that I've described here, I found the following this week. A seller on Stacker Social sold an Australian kangaroo for £45. This is the best price I found anywhere on any marketplace this week. It was a great deal. A seller on the Silver Forum sold the ever popular Monix for £46 per coin. Again, another great deal. A seller on eBay sold Canadian maple leaves for £47.50. This is a very good price. There were some cheaper deals out there, but I wasn't convinced that sellers had much of a background, so I've not included those. Cobrastacker was offering Royal Mint capital gains tax-free coins for £47. That's a great price again. Affordable Bullion was selling Australian kookaburras for £47.50 and South African Krugerrands for £48. These are excellent prices for coins that normally have higher premiums than, say, a Britannia does. Dancu was selling Philharmonics for £47 and Royal Mint capital gains tax-free British Lions for £48.50. Again, these are excellent prices. Looking at the biggest UK dealers by comparison, my personally preferred dealer, Chards, was selling the new 2026 Britannias for less than £53, which is very good price for dealers. Chards did briefly have some of their pre-owned mixed silver bullion of so-called minty condition coins for sale at £45 each, but these sold out very quickly, matter of minutes. And whenever you look, they're usually out of stock. They don't have many of them. These are the coins that Chards buy in from other people. People sell to them and they turn them over. And minty basically means they're in excellent condition. So these are a superb deal if you can catch them. Keep your eye on their site if you're after quite a few coins. If you do a Google search for silver, or silver bullion, or silver coins, you will see Bullion Buy Post listed first. This is a paid advert. Their price for a 2026 Britannia was almost £67. It should be noted that they do offer free delivery, so it's included in the price, and that's different to all the other sellers that I've mentioned. But this just does not justify the eye-watering price, and it's much better to pay your postage on top of the silver and gold that you're buying rather than bundled in, because if you're buying several coins or several bars, you're paying for postage multiple times. This free delivery is a bit of a con. I looked at the other coins that you could buy at affordable Bullion and Dancu for £47 to £48, and Bullion Buy Post were charging £66 for a Krugerrand and the Philharmonic coins, and an incredible £71 for a Kookaburra. This is a company that pays a lot of money for Google ads to get noticed, to be seen first on search, and it recoups the cost by setting very high prices for unsuspecting customers. Please note that this company also trades as gold.co.uk, and this ranks very highly on Google searches as well. They're the same company. Buying direct from the Royal Mint, which is probably the default for new buyers who are worried about trust and they just don't know who all the other dealers and sellers are. This is also an expensive route. The 2026 1 ounce silver Britannia costs over £66. So in summary, these are the results of my search for the best value 1 ounce silver bullion coins this week. I strongly recommend that you keep a record of your purchases and calculate the premiums that you are paying, including the postage. What matters is the final price to you once it's delivered to your home. The premiums below are excluding postage except for Bullion Buy Post. And I think an easier way to think about the premiums is just calculating how many coins you can buy for your budget. So for example, let's say you had £500 to spend on silver. Well, you could get 3 or 4 more coins for your money by shopping around. All the coins I described will have the same value when you come to sell them back to a dealer. There's no difference between them. Looking at the 1 gram gold bars, I found that the Royal Mint and dealers charge a premium of around 40% for this very small size of gold. Dealers tend to compete on larger sizes, so if you shop around you can find 20 to 25% premiums from independent dealers, and even less if you buy on Stacker Social or the Silver Forum. So again, the very best deals are on these peer-to-peer sites from people who are trusted, have excellent reputations, and they're selling at a very low price because they bought at a much cheaper price and they're very happy at the price they're selling at. If you want to buy gold on a small budget, then I do think that this is the way to go. Look at Stacker Social and the Silver Forum first. If you've got a larger budget, then shop around and figure out what size of gold offers you the best value. Britannias and sovereigns have the highest mintage, and so these will have the lowest premiums. The full-size Britannia is an ounce, but there are half sizes, quarter sizes and tenth sizes. And then you have sovereigns, which is just over a quarter of an ounce, and then there are half sovereigns too. It's been shown that it's better to buy smaller amounts of gold every month rather than save for a bigger size, because the gold price is increasing quicker than what it would be if you could save money on your premiums. So don't save up your money for 1, 2, 3, 4 months so you can go and afford a sovereign or a Britannia. It doesn't make sense. Just buy smaller amounts, accrue those, and swap those small sizes later on if you prefer to hold Britannias or sovereigns. So I put it to you, if you've got £500 to spend, do you want these 11 beautiful silver bullion coins, or do you want these 7 coins? I hate seeing stackers being ripped off. I hope this video has shown you how shopping around can save you a lot of money and help you grow your stack much more quickly. I fully appreciate there's an issue of trust here. Who are these dealers? Who are these sellers? Can I trust them? And can I trust what they're selling? And that's why we come together as a community to help each other. And I suspect that governments, banks and aristocrats really don't want ordinary people owning much gold and silver, and they just don't make it easy for us. Do let me know if you've got any questions in the comments. Otherwise, join me and your fellow stackers on Stacker Social for great advice and friendship. Well, that's it. There's been a lot of information here for you to digest, but I do think that this is a very important video. Please save it so you can come back and review it again later, and share it with those that you think should see this. Don't let people get ripped off. See you in the next video.